Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Thasyah Pramudita. I am from Mansi Pharmacy. Today I will start telling of the boy and the king and people of the trance. There lived a king, Yusuf Dunawas, before you in Yemen, and he lived about 70 years before the birth of message of Allah, PBUH. And he had a magician. As the magician grew old, he said to the king, I have become old and my time is nearly over, so send me a boy whom I can teach magic. So he sent him boy Abdullah bin Tamir, and the magician taught him magic. On his way to the magician, the young man found a monk sitting there and listened to his talk and was impressed by it. It became his habit that on his way to the magician he met the monk sat there, so he was late in coming to the magician, who beat him because of the delay. The young boy made a complaint about it to the monk, so the monk said, when you feel afraid of the magician, say my people keep me busy, and when you feel afraid of your family, say to them, the magician keep me busy. It once happened that before came a beast of prey, and it blocked the way of the people. The young boy said, I shall find out today whether the magician or the monk is correct in belief. He picked up a stone and said, O Allah, if the teaching of the monk are dearer to you than the teaching of the magician, bring death to this animal, so that the people will be able to move about freely. They threw that stone toward it and killed it, and the people began to move about on the path freely. The young man then came to that monk and informed him. The monk said, My son, today you are superior to me. Your affairs have reached a stage where I find that you will soon be put to the test. That case don't reveal my identity. The young man began to treat the blind and those suffering from leprosy and began to cure people of all kinds of illness. There was a courtier of the king who had become blind and heard about the boy. He came and brought a number of gifts for the boy and said, If you cure me, all these things collect together will be yours. He said, I myself do not cure anyone. It is Allah who cures. If you affirm faith in Allah, I shall also supplicate Allah to cure you. He affirmed his faith in Allah, and Allah cured him. He came to the king and sat by his side as he used to sit before. The king said to him, Who restored you a sight? He said, My lord. The king then asked, I did. The courtier said, No, my lord, and your Lord is Allah. The king said, Do you have another Lord beside me? He said, Yes, your Lord and my Lord is Allah. Whereupon the king took hold of him and tortured him until he revealed the identity of boy. The young man was thus summoned, and the king said to him, O boy, it has been conveyed to me that you have become so talented in your magic, then you cure the blind and those suffering from leprosy, and you do such and such thing. Thereupon he said, I do not cure anyone. It is Allah who cures. The king took hold of him and began to torture him. So he revealed the identity of the monk. The monk was thus summoned, and it was said to him, Turn back from your religion. He whoever refused to do so. King ordered a saw to be brought, and it was placed in the middle of his head, and it fell apart. Then the courtier of the king was brought, and it was said to him, Turn back from your religion, but he refused to do so. Then his same was done with him as well. Then the young boy was brought, and it was said to him, Turn back from your religion. He refused to do so, and was handed over to a group of his courtiers. He said to them, Take him, such mountain, Make him climb that mountain, and when you reach its top, ask him to give up faith. But if he refused to do so, throw him down the mountain. So they took him and made him climb the mountain. The boy prayed, "O Allah, save me from them in any way." Will the mountain began to quake, and they all fell down. The boy came walking back to the king. The king said to him, "What has happened to your companions?" He said, "Allah saved me from them." He again handed him to some of these courtiers and said, "Take him and carry him away in a small boat, and when you reach the middle of the ocean, ask him to give up his religion. But if he does not give up his religion, throw him into the water." So they took him, and the boy prayed, "O Allah, save me from the..." And what they want to do. It was not long before the boat overturned and they were drowned. But he came walking back to the king. The king said to him, "What has happened to your companions?" He said, "Allah has saved me from them." He also said to the king, "You can kill me until I tell you how to do." He asked, what is that?" The boy said, "You should gather people on a plain and hang me by the trunk of a tree. Then take an arrow from the quiver and say, 'In the name of Allah, the Lord of the world.' Then shoot an arrow. If you do that, you will be able to kill me." So he did this, and placing an arrow in the bow, he shot it, saying, "Bismillah Rabbi, in the name of Allah, the Lord of the young boy." The arrow hit the boy in the temple, and the boy placed his hand over the arrow wound and died. The people proclaimed, "We affirm our faith in the Lord of this young man." The courtiers came to the king, and it was said to him, "Do you see what has happened? That which you fear has taken place, that their faith is in the Lord." So he ordered the ditches to be dug at the entrance to the road, and it was done, and fires we killed in them. Then the king said, "Whoever abandons his religion, let him go, and whoever does not, throw him into the fire." The people consented, but did not refuse their faith from Allah, until a woman came here with her baby, whom she was breastfeeding. She left his stand about, jumped into the fire. The baby spoke to her, "Befriended mother, for verily you are following the truth." Muslim and Imam Ahmad record it. According to some reports, about more than 12,000 people were burned into ash. After that, the fire flared up so high that it spread openly through the city and burned all those who were watching the fun of burning the Muslims. Only Yusuf bin Nawas, the king, managed to run away and throw himself into the sea in order to save him from the rage of the fire, but he got drowned and died. Tafsir Mazhari. It was about Dunawas and his army that Allah revealed to his message Pbuh in Surah number 85 Al-Buruj. The reference is made to this incident. The Holy Quran cures were the people of the trance, the people of the fire that was rich with fuel. When they were sitting by it and were watching that they were doing with the believers, and they had blamed them for nothing but that they believed in Allah, the Almighty, the worthy of Allah praise, the one to whom belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and Allah is witness over everything. Surely those who persecute and the weaving man and the weaving woman then did not repent, for them there is to the torment of Jahannam hell, and for them there is the torment of burning. In the narration of Muhammad bin Ishaq, it is referred that the place where the boy Abdullah bin Tamir was buried had to be dug of some important reason. During the time of Sayyidina Umar radhiyallahu anhu, it was found that the body of Abdullah bin Tamir was unharmed, and he was sitting up. His hand was placed on his hip joint. Where the arrow struck him, some people moved his hand out from the place, and his wound started bleeding. When the hand was placed back in its position, the bleeding stopped. There was a ring in his finger which had the inscription, Allahu Rabbi, Allah is my Lord. The governor of Yemen informed Sayyidina Umar radhiyallahu anhu about his, and he wrote back in reply, cover the body back, it was with the finger ring. Tafsir Ibnu Katsir. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.